In a world where the cost of Cocoa Puffs just may be competing with a mortgage payment, and it's hard to get with, guys. Getting that first home might feel like chasing unicorns right now, but fear not because I've got all the right reasons why this home hunting puzzle might seem tougher than solving a Rubik's Cube. Who would have thought? Hello, my name is Alicia Walker, and I'm a licensed real estate agent and founder of Wesley Dean Solutions, a financial consulting company where we help individuals like yourself navigate the world of personal finances and credit. I talk about all things real estate, personal finance, and self development for millennials and first time homebuyers. All right, guys, as always, let's get into it. So, the very first thing, high interest rates. We see it every single day. Right now, we're at roughly 7%, which is almost double where we were. Actually, not almost, it is double where we've been the last couple of years. And that just means less buyers and less sellers. Buyers are less interested in jumping into this market because just a couple of years ago, they're able to pay half of what they're paying now for a new home. And then sellers, they did purchase in those low periods and just less inclined to jump into the market. Low inventory, we're still behind the ball on where we were from 2008 as far as new construction. And then you add 2020 and it just continues to create a snowball effect in inventory. New construction simply can't keep up. And it's estimated that we'll be at a loss of 5 million homes by the end of the year, meaning that we should have had 5 million more homes built by the end of the year that won't exist. Not enough homes creates competition. High inflation equals higher prices. Let's face it, prices are just ridiculous. Go to your local supermarket. Cereal is like $7 right now, and I feel like I'm having to choose between cereal and Netflix. And to be honest, with the way Netflix has been going, we're trying to cut off sharing my password. I'm more likely to choose that $7 box of cereal at this point. So prices are high. Airline fares, you see it. High inflation just equals higher prices. And then we have slow wage growth. With that inflation, we averaged about 8% in 2022, and wages increased at a rate of about 4%. As you can see, inflation is outpacing merit increases. So those salary increases and hourly pay increases that you're receiving on your job, inflation is eating right into those. And I have a quick example just to illustrate that. So take $1 of your salary and take that 4% merit increase. That equates literally to just 4 cents. You have $1.04, and take away or put into account or take into account inflation, which is at 8%. You see that your estimated purchasing power before, after your merit increase, would have been $1.04. Take that $1.04 and now you take inflation, which is eaten into that $1.04, and now your actual purchasing power is 96 cents, which is less than where you started with before at your $1. Inflation continues to creep and it's eating into your money, so that means less money saved. And then all this really just means that it affects your affordability at the end of the day. All right, so let's talk competition. Really, there is no competition. Your pace is your pace. Your journey is your journey. This is what I tell my clients. Go on your own pace. But these are some of the individuals who are also moving on their own pace as well, and individuals that you will come across during your journey. Investors, both small, which are your people next door. Someone can have a small portfolio of homes or apartment units, whatever. Those are your smaller investors. And then you have your big corporate investors, such as big banks, who are coming in and buying up communities, turning them over with renovations, and then leasing them out to individuals. And then you have your move up buyers. These to me are what I call your level up buyers. They were at some point in your shoes trying to become a first time home buyer, and now they've gotten into that starter home. And let me just say this, your very first home may not always be your dream home, because typically you're going to just purchase a starter home and it won't have all the bells and whistles that you would like, but it does get your foot in the door to create some equity for you to then become a move up buyer or to level up your lifestyle and move into another home. And then we have your downsizers. These are individuals who also purchase, think more likely your parents or grandparents who had these family homes and now their families have, become smaller. Maybe it's just one or two individuals in the household and they like to downsize because when it comes to larger homes, that means higher maintenance costs. And then you have other first time home buyers like yourself. So individuals who are also looking at this video, hopefully, and with the anticipation or hopes of purchasing their first home as well. So in an ideal market, you would like this to be circular. We talked about the inventory before. And then I'll just kind of illustrate this. I thought a circle at first, but I'll do a triangle. So this is you, first time home buyer. And you just say first timer. And eventually you're going to sell and become a level up buyer. But you're going to level up that lifestyle. I can't write. And then eventually you're going to sell again because, hey, you had your family, kids have gone off to college, and now you're thinking, let me downsize and let me just go into the city and get a condo. It's totally fine. So then that downsizer at some point will probably sell as well and either continue to stay downsized or move back up. But ideally, you want this to continue to be a circular motion. This is your inventory. So you want inventory to continuously circle around. You have investors could be at any point in this diagram. And these individuals, they're going to load and unload properties as necessary for their portfolio. So they're going to be at any point within this diagram. Hey, if all this information has been helpful thus far, do me a favor, hit the like button. It helps the channel to grow. All right, let's get back into it. Corporate investors. Let's talk about corporate investors, which are these guys. These are your big banks. They are a threat. Now, this is some competition for you to think about because they're not only buying up older communities and turning them over with renovations and renting them out, they're also now buying land and doing new construction and developing new communities strictly for the purpose of renting. So that's taken up. That's one thing that we cannot replenish is land. We can tear down homes, but we can't replenish land. So don't want land to become obsolete where you can't purchase and buy your first home. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, so just a couple of statistics. $75,000, that is the minimum income needed to purchase in today's market, according to Forbes.com. And also according to Forbes, only 23% of homes listed as of April 2023 were $256,000 or less. What is the relevance for this? Well, technically, when you're thinking about estimating the purchase price of your home, I like to go in and estimate. I think right now some lenders are allowing up to or 5 times your income. I'm more of a conservative just because that's just my nature in general. So typically I would like to go 3 to 4 times my income. For simplicity's sake, let's just say you went 4 times your income, 3 times your income, let's just say 75 times 3, I believe that would be 225K. And then 75 times 4 gets you about 300K. So this is important because this is basically saying that this salary here, which is the minimum income needed, this is the minimums, possible minimums and maximums of the home purchase price that you would qualify for. Now, it could be higher. Like I mentioned, some lenders are offering up to 5 times your income, but this is just something to give you some type of a baseline to go by when you're trying to understand possibly how much, or trying to just basically get an estimate of what you possibly could afford based on your income. Now, something else to keep in mind, now this is the minimum, so that means the minimum household income. The household income meaning if there is a married couple, the two of you combine for $75,000, or if you're single, your income should be at $75,000. So that lets you know. Now I will say this: The average income in the US right now is actually 53,000. For individuals, that's creating affordability issues for single individuals who would look to purchase a home. So that's just a number to keep in mind. Next, 91%. This is the percentage of borrowers with mortgage rates less than 6%. This is what I spoke about earlier when I mentioned that interest rates right now that are at 7%. This is the number. So 91%, I mean, that's almost everyone that has a mortgage, almost basically. They have a mortgage that's less than 6%. And then even further, 82% of this 91%, 82% of those same borrowers have rates less than 5%. Individuals are less inclined, especially sellers, are less inclined to jump out of the market where they only had a 5% interest rate to now pay an additional 2% interest rate on higher priced homes. It's just, it makes the market a little bit difficult to navigate, but not impossible. Perspective. This is what I was speaking on earlier. These are, and I'm a numbers person just by nature. I'm also a business analyst for a financial software company. So this is what I do pretty much all day, is just dive into data. Where we started versus where we ended. And this is from 1970 on to today. 1970s, you can see here and here, you see it was all the way up to almost 10% in the 80s. During this time, they were also facing a recession, which, by the way, we're actually estimated no longer to be in a recession. At least that's what I saw the other day. And they also was facing an oil embargo that was prevalent during that time. And then you jump into the 90s, interest rates were still high, coming off of the ends of that oil embargo and recession. Interest rates were still high, but then they started to go down. That's because we then entered the dot-com era, or the age of the internet. So that helped the economy. And then going into the 2000s, well, we saw what happened here. It's the Great Recession. Prices were bottoming out. And the government needed to do something to boost and stimulate the economy, which did come slowly but surely. We had pretty stable rates throughout the 2010s, trending downwards some more. And then in the 2020s, of course, we know what happened here. Let's just say the C word. We already know. And then jump to now with inventory, the competitive nature, and the government trying to halt spending or slow down spending in an effort to get control of the economy. We see where we are now with interest rate hikes. And we can see that at 7.2 as of July 2023. So we can see here, now although that we are higher than where we have been historically, if you see these points here, I mean, we're still relatively low. Now, I'm not saying that I'm trying to rush out to pay 7% either, which I am in the process of wanting to purchase a home as well, or another home as well. And I'm not trying to pay 7% either, but there's a possibility that this could become our new normal. Hopefully not, but individuals are starting to get used to the idea of higher mortgages and higher interest rates. It's just, it is what it is. The market is circular, and it's just going to continue to move. What goes around comes around, and it just continues to move regardless. So feel free to leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next video.